Good morning, children. Already we have completed 2 lessons, one from botany, other one from chemistry. So third lesson we have to say now, that is from physics, laws of motion. This is the first lesson in the chapter. So in this lesson we have to study about motion. Motion means what? It is movement. Motion may not occur their own. So unless some force act on that. ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபோர்ஸ் ஆக்ட் ஆனால் மட்டும்தான் one thinks an object can move from one place to another place. That it is moving, some other force act on that, some other power act on that. That power is known as force. Force is otherwise known as push or pull. Suppose you are standing in one place, you are standing, you are remaining straight. So some other boy, some other girl pushes on you, you may move from your position in front or at back. This movement from your original place is known as what? Force. That is, either it may be a push or pull. So, before we give a clear definition of force, let us see what is mechanics. Mechanics is a branch of physics which deals with the movement of objects under the effect of pressure, force. So, this mechanics further divided into statics and dynamics. Statics, it is in the objects which remain rest even though force act on that. Dynamics, it is the object which is in movement due to effect of the force. Further, this dynamics divided into kinetics, and kinematics. What are the differences in this? Kinematics, it is movement of object only, but we are not bothering about the direction, that is causes. Then how the object moves, there should be some cause, no. In this kinematics, we cannot bother about that, we are not considering the cause. But in the kinetics, we have to verify the cause. So, let us recall again, that is a force. Unless a force act on the body cannot move. That force is known as either push or pull. Study of force is known as mechanics. It's a branch of science. It says about how the objects moves with the effect of force. Mechanics has 2 divisions. One is statics, other one is dynamics. Statics, the object remain in the rest. Dynamics, the object in the moving. There are 2 kinds of dynamics branches, kinematics and kinetics. Kinetics about the cause, that is why the object moves. Kinematics, then kinetics with cause. This is without cause, this is with cause. So many, generally whatever the effect may be, the scientist may put many forward theories. Then Aristotle, a great scientist and philosopher, he has given the concept about the force. He has further divided the thing, Aristotle. He further divided the force into 2, that is natural and violent. Natural and violent. Natural is said force dependent. He has given the name as force dependent. Violent is said force independent. Whatever it may be, either it is natural force or violent force, it is dependent on the force only. So, force dependent means in any heavenly object, it moves. It does not take rest. From the resting condition, it has to move. So, that movement can be controlled by some pressure. That is known as force dependent. That is natural. Then violent, though the force act on that, we cannot control the movement of the object, that is force independent. This is the statement of Aristotle. And further he said, whatever the objects it may be, either it is lighter object or heavy object, if you are throwing from the height, he said the heavier object reaches first, then lighter object. We are having the 2 objects, one is heavier, other one is lighter. The same height, we are not changing the height. From the same height we drop the objects, means heavier object reaches the ground first and then lighter objects. Then Galileo is the other scientist. He has just controversy the concept of Aristotle. He said whatever the objects may be, either it is lighter or heavier, they both reach at the same time. Okay. So Aristotle is said there are two things, natural and violent. Violent cannot be controlled, natural can be controlled. Let us say the statement from the book. Then while taking class, you no need to take the notes. This is nothing like our regular classes only. So while we are taking lessons, take your books and mark down the important points. Okay, we used to do as usual. Last year also we did like this only, because science is very, very important. So unless you follow the things, you cannot learn. We cannot memorize unless we know the meaning of the subject. Is it clear? So what you have to do, you should have the book in your hand, take pencils and underline everything. I hope everybody is got the link. I heard like that only from your parents also. They said almost everybody is watching. So we should have the book. So get the books from the school and then you learn. So let me see what are the points of Aristotle. Then Galileo, he has opposed Aristotle in one way. He said heavier object, lighter object, they take their own time. That is, heavier object reaches down first, ground, then lighter object follows next. But Galileo said whatever it may be, either it is heavier or lighter, both reaches the ground in the same time. And he has put his concepts also. What are the concepts of Galileo? Refer page number 2. He has given a clear idea of force. He said the natural state of all earthly bodies is either in the state of rest or in the state of uniform motion. That means what? The object, any other object, either it's heavenly object or earthly objects, they are in the rest or else in the moving condition. That motion will be continued due to some force. This force only is we have started now, that is the lesson for us. When the force is applied on the bodies, they resist any change in the state. For example, from the resting state they can move in direction state or else somewhere else. Though the inherent capacity of the object is known as inertia. What is inertia? This is important. This is capacity of, that is inherent means what? Original. The original capacity of object is known as inertia. This object may be disturbed due to force. So Galileo said like this, and he has given a clear definition. This inertia is already said by Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is the other scientist, you know him well, who is famous for his gravitational force. He has framed 3 laws. He proposed 3 laws about this force, that is known as Newton laws. He was very familiar by Newton only, so his laws are known as Newton laws. So what is inertia? See in the page number 2. So it is in the confusion state, you no need to learn as it is, take important point only, or else you refer in points to remember also. The inherent property of body to resist any change in this state or the state of uniform motion unless it is influenced upon an external force. That means an object can remain in this original position. The original position is inertia. It may be disturbed by some other force act on that. This is known as inertia. The unbalanced force, that is the object changes from its rest of position, is known as what? Inertia. Inertia we can further divide them into, for example we can set a simple example. You take a tumbler, glass tumbler. The tumbler in the resting condition only. The tumbler is in resting condition, that is activity 1. The tumbler in the resting condition, you have to close the brim. Brim means what? Top of the tumbler by using a cardboard. On the cardboard you have to place a coin. So the object, that is inertia, is what? Inertia of rest. The tumbler is in resting condition. It covers by the cardboard. On the cardboard we are keeping a coin. When you are snipping the cord or pricking the cord moves suddenly and the coin falls into the tumbler. So before that, the tumbler is inertia of rest. After you are pulling the cord falls down and the coin fell into the tumbler. This is known as inertia of motion. So inertia can be defined as, that is original status of the object, that is inherent capacity object unless a force act on that. The tumbler is in inertia rest. When the force applied on that, the tumbler, that is the cardboard, it moves from the glass tumbler and it fell down. The coin falls into the glass. This is known as inertia of rest. Inertia can be further classified into three, that is inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of, what are the three? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. Okay. So, what are the three I said? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. So, on seeing the name itself we can conclude that is in the resting condition, the object is in resting condition. Here inertia of motion, the object moves in a particular direction because of the force act on that moving, that is particular direction. So, rest, motion and direction together it is known as inertia is in three examples. So, examples we can say the examples for that. You know athletes, that is the sportsmen, they run faster before jumping. So, you have observed already athletes, they want to jump from one place to another place. So, they cannot jump immediately, they have to run certain distance. After running the certain distance only they can jump. They said this running helps them to jump faster than normal. So, this is inertia of motion. Next one, suppose you are driving a car and the corner comes, you have to turn your side, you are just turning by that side, that is you are changing the direction of the thing. So, it is known as what? Inertia of direction. And the last, when you shake the branches of the tree vigorously means what? Very fastly, ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக நீங்கள் ட்ரீ அப்படி ஷேக் பண்ணும்போது the whole leaves and all just withered. So, this is known as what? Inertia of rest. The leaves fall down and they are taking rest. So, let me conclude the last point, that linear momentum. Momentum is motion only. Linear, whatever it may be the motion, that is moving objects, they go in a certain distance in the straight line only. Momentum means linear momentum, that movement moves in the same place. This is known as linear momentum. That is, for example, in the multiplication sums we said 3 into 2, 6. 3 is one multiple, 2 is other multiple. What is the product of that? 3 into 2 is 6. The same like object, force act on the object, it goes on the straight line. This is known as what? Linear momentum. That is, object travels in the same straight line is known as linear momentum. So, what are the points we come across? What is mechanics? That is a branch of physics I said. It has to, better refer the book. It has two branches, statics and dynamics. Statics, the objects are at rest under the influence of pressure, force. Dynamics, it is the moving. Further it has two branches, that is kinematics and kinetics. Then many scientists put forward theory about this. Aristotle, he further classified the movement into natural and violent. Natural, it can be controlled. Violent, it cannot be controlled. Then Galileo, we said what are the reasons, what are the concepts of the Galileo? I said very clearly, it's in page number also. Then we have to say inertia. Inertia is a resting capacity. There are three kinds of inertia, that is inertia of rest, inertia of motion and inertia of direction. We have seen an example. Everything given clearly in the book, better verify the book unless we say to buy the guide. Because in 10th standard we never waste our time by writing. We are learning only. By that thing only we can achieve the success. Linear momentum, I said the force act on the same direction, the straight line. This is known as linear. Linear means what? Line. Okay. Let me continue in other class, children. Thank you.